Let me explain the difference between reference types and primitives and how they are stored in memory. So before you saw that we had this int variable age right here, and then we have a point A object. So this point A right here, it's an object. And then we did print this, and we also moved. So let me just get rid of these so we don't need this for this video. Now this primitive right here and this point A, which is a reference type, they are stored in memory as follows. So when we run our Java application, it looks like this in memory. So we have the stack, which is used for memory allocation and the execution of a thread, and it follows the LIFO data structure, last in, first out. And again, on data structures, we'll cover data structures and what this means. But all I want you to know is within the memory stack, we have something called a frame. Now, a frame contains all the data for one function call, and it only exists during the execution time of a function, including any references. And then we have the heap in here. So this is the space used to store objects. New objects are always created in the heap space, and references to these objects are stored in the stack memory. So let's start with the primitive that we have created. So this one, so this int age. So primitives are always stored in the stack. So i.e. when we run the program, we have a frame for the main method. So this is the main method, and inside we have a frame, and this will hold basically all of this. So for age, it will store the value in it in there. So int age equals to 21. So you can see the actual value for the primitive is stored within the stack. So primitives are used to store simple values. Then we have a point. So this point right here, which is an object. So this guy is an object, and more specific, this contains a reference to the object. So what I mean is, within the memory stack, we have a new frame for point A, and have a look. Point A now contains the following information. So it contains int x equals to 10, y equals to 10, and point A equals, have a look, this number right here, it's not the actual value for it. So this is a reference to where the object itself lives. So it's a reference to the point A. So this is the object itself, and you can see that the heap is used to store objects. Now within the stack, so point A, it's a reference. It's a reference to this object within the heap. So have a look. References to these objects are always stored in stack memory. So point A, it's a reference to the object which is stored within the heap. Now let's say that we have a second point called point B, for example. So in here, let me just duplicate this, and I'm going to say that this is point B. Now this is going to create a new frame, i.e. in the stack. So we have a frame and we have the values, so 20 and 20. Let's just reflect these. So 20 and 20. So x20, y20. And this frame contains all the data for the point B. So when we create a new object, this creates a frame. Now have a look. We have the primitives. So here, int x, the value, int y, the value, and then point B contains the memory to where the object lives. So this is a reference to somewhere in the heap that points to the object right here. So it points to the object itself. So x 20, y 20, and the same for the previous point. And to be honest, this is it. Now with a string, it works a little bit different, and we'll cover strings later. But let's say that we have a string called brand equals to amigos and then code. So what this going to do is within the stack is going to create the brand, and this will be equal to, you can see that it's not the value. So it's not the value. So strings also, they are references, and strings are a little bit different. But again, as I said, I will fully cover strings later, but this will refer to a place inside of the string pool within the heap, and it will refer to the string itself, amigos code. And to be honest, this is the difference between primitives and reference types. So with primitives, the value itself is stored within the memory stack. So have a look, we have age, and I think I actually don't need the data types in here. So let me just get rid of this so it's much easier for you to reason about. So just like that. If you see x equals to 20 and the value is stored in here, you know that this is a primitive. So the same for a boolean, the same for a char, the same for a double, right? So all of those are primitives. So the value for them are stored within the stack. And for objects, it stores the reference to where the object lives inside of the heap. And if it's for a string, it's a little bit different because they refer to the value within the string pool. But again, more on this later. If you have any questions on this, please let me know. But throughout this course, you're going to learn about objects and whatnot, and hopefully all of this will even make more sense. But if you have any questions, please do let me know. Otherwise, let me teach you yet another important concept, which is pass by value.